Jimmy, over these last handful of games, and maybe all year really, how much of a stabilizing factor has Drew Doughty been as guys have been in and out of the lineup?
Yeah, well, especially on the back end, I think with Mikey out, I thought Drew probably had his best stretch of hockey when Mikey went out. Credit to him. New partner, had to play maybe the game a little simpler than he does typically with Mikey. But a really good job. You know, he's definitely the backbone back there.
How much easier does that make it on the guys he was playing with to be able to feel comfortable playing their game, knowing they had a guy like Drew alongside them?
Yeah, I mean, there's always a bit of an adjustment. You've had a partner, as long as you have Drew and Mikey, they read off each other. So when you're coming in, you talk about Mavari, out of the minors, coming in already playing top pairing minutes with Drew, the adjustment probably is more so for Mavari. But I know Drew talks to him a lot, makes him feel comfortable. You know, so that's leadership right there. You have to. Your partner has to feel comfortable with your game.
In regards to Mobarara, your trust factor, you gain more trust with him the more you see him.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not a surprise how he plays. He's given us that game. That's just who he is, and the beauty of what he does is he does that pretty consistently. He can be out of the lineup, he can be in the lineup, he can play a handful of minutes, he can play 20 minutes. You pretty much know what you're getting. Oh man, that's always a real feather in your cap if you're a player from the coach's staff.
Jim, I noticed that I used the word leader with Kempe in his last game.
Yeah.
What areas did that stand out that he took charge?
Right away, I thought he was physical, but you got to be fast to be physical. So we saw that the penalty. He gets Pelech in the corner. He turns the puck over. We make a quick play to the slot. He's going to the net. You know, you guys saw the slow-mo of it. I'm not sure if Pelech pushed him or he went into the goalie, but he was going to the goalie hard. Pelech had to make contact. So there was an intensity there, intensity to turn the puck over and intensity to score. And I thought he carried that on all night. And then we, you know, surprise, surprise, we see a Kempe goal, a goal that's kind of his trademark goal coming down the wing and beating the goalie with a wrist shot.
Jim, going with 7 D, 11 forwards off and on, is that determined more so by your opponent, or is that something you just have a feel for your team?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't think it's the opponent so much. I just think it's, you know, based on schedule, where we're at. There's a lot of different things that go into it. You know, we've got like any team, we've got a lot of forwards that want to play more. You know, and so and we feel like can play more. We've got a lot of depth up front. So some of those guys, you know, when we go 11, they get a little bit more ice time. There's a little bit more for Q. There's a little more for Dubois, a little more for Kempe, a little more for different players, Fiala. So, you know, it's just based on the lineup, based on the schedule and just our feeling for that night.
Now that you have Kempe back, you have Anderson back, does that allow you to maybe slot the rest of the lineup the way that you would ideally like to, because you get 2 guys right at the top back in play?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's still, when we go 11, it's still, you know, kind of everybody's moving around. But, you know, Juice gives us another element for sure. His game is a physical game when he's on it, and that's important for us. So that allows us to mix and match, you know, even more. And, you know, we just need him to bring that game consistently.